Okay, welcome everybody. We are live with the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge for the week of December 5th. We're glad that all our regulars have made it. One of them I wasn't sure was going to make it, and he's here with us. So we got the 6 of us regulars here. As always, people that that are new to this are always welcome, and we'd love to have more people join. Pass the word to your friends. Last week I had mentioned the Titus Andronicus. I hope that went well. That Sheila, you were there. That went well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Regrettably, I had to back out. I had something come up. It was actually the COVID testing for the electron this past week that I had to drive to North Hollywood for and get tested for that, so that I could work on King Richard.
Good choice, though.
I hope the people that I had mentioned that to a liar out of me that I put the post here saying that I wasn't going to be able to stream the Titus Andronicus that I mentioned.
I was able to record it for the group. So it didn't get streamed, but it did get recorded, and it's unpublished. But I can send you the URL if you want the link to it.
Oh, great. And I'll ask, and since Vincent doesn't mind, maybe I'll go ahead and share it, even if it's not live here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I need to announce to the 6 of us here, as well as to anybody watching, regrettably, next Saturday, we're going to have to go dark with this. I'm going to be in Bakersfield seeing the in-laws, and I talked about arranging it so that I could use the Wi-Fi at a house that we're at, and but I don't know. I don't know when we're going to be on the road driving to another friend's house, so I can't commit to it. So unfortunately, we'll go dark next Saturday, December 12th. We won't have a Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge, but I hope everyone will be back for the next one. Will be December 19th. I hope that 2 weeks off, we won't get rusty, we won't forget about it, and we'll be just as enthusiastic about doing an awesome Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge 2 weeks from today. So
even more so, because we'll have missed it.
Yeah. Oh, good. I hope everybody. That's certainly how I feel about it, and I hope everybody else feels the same way that myself and Maggie feel about it. So, does anybody else have any announcements before we spin?
Oh, Eager Beavers is doing Troilus and Cressida on the 13th, 3:30.
And something people might want to know is that the parts are assigned before that day. So it's, in essence, that's what it seemed like to me. It's an open reading, but at the same time, if you just show up, the parts are already assigned. And some of us come from places where they assign them at each act or each scene or something like that. So right now you can go ahead of time and volunteer. If someone else hasn't taken that part, it'll be your part.
Right. I would make I would make 2 points about that. One is Vincent does assign in advance, so I have my roles for the 13th. But let's say I suddenly can't be there. If you have signed on early and you're there 15 minutes before,
they'll give it to you.
They'll say, "Oh my goodness, Sheila,
we need somebody. Okay,
so can we reassign these?" And then you have a chance to jump in, and who knows what part will be available at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Thanks for pointing that out, Sheila, because that's another thing that unfortunately, I told Vincent I'm going to miss it because that's the weekend that I'm in Bakersfield. And if I were there, I would stream that to YouTube as well. And unfortunately, people here are going to miss that. But contact Sheila. I'm sure she can hook you up with the Zoom link. So if you're interested in seeing that, there's other ways besides this YouTube channel that you can see those performances.
And I believe that Vincent posts it on Instant Shakespeare a few days in advance, so that you'll have the link to sign in from there. You can get that early.
Great. Any other announcements before we spin the wheel? Okay. So that said, let's bring up the wheel. We got a good, we don't have to change it. We got all 6 of our names up here. The first monologue will be performed by like a near Bill. Okay, so I'm going to start us off today. All right, and I'll spin the gender neutral wheel. Okay, so I will be performing Volumnia from Coriolanus pleading with her son not to destroy Rome. Okay. That in, and then I'll find it. Act 5, Scene 3. Okay, got it. So remove everybody else. Nay, go not from us thus. If it were so that our request did tend to save the Romans, thereby to destroy the Volsces whom you serve, you might condemn us as poisonous of your honor. No, our suit is that you reconcile them. While the Volsces may say, this mercy we have showed, the Romans this we received, and each in either side give thee all hail to thee, and cry, be blessed for making up this peace. Thou knowest, great son, the end of wars uncertain, but this certain, that if thou conquer Rome, the benefit which thou shalt thereby reap is such a name, whose repetition will be dogged with curses, whose chronicle thus writ, the man was noble, but with his last attempt he wiped it out, destroyed his country, and his name remains to the ensuing age abhorred. Speak to me, son. Thou hast affected the fine straits of honor, to imitate the graces of the gods, to tear with thunder the wide cheeks of the air, and yet to charge thy sulphur with a bolt that should but rive an oak. Why dost not speak? Think'st thou it honorable for a noble man still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you. He cares not for your weeping. Speak, thou boy. Perhaps thy childishness will move him more than can our reasons. There's no man in the world more bound to his mother, yet here he lets me prate like one of the stocks. Thou hast never in thy life showed thy dear mother any courtesy, when she, poor hen, fond of no sacred brood, has clucked thee to the wars and safely home, loaden with honor. Say my request's unjust and spurn me back. But if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrains from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. He turns away. Down, ladies. Let us shame him with our knees. To his surname Coriolanus longs more pride than pity to our prayers. Down. An end. This is the last. So we will Rome and die among our neighbors. Nay, beholds this boy that cannot tell what he would have, but kneels and holds up bands for fellowship, does reason our petition with more strength than thou hast to deny it. Come, let us go. This fellow had a Volscian to his mother. His wife is in Coriolanus, and his child like him by chance. Yet give us our dispatch. I am hushed until our city be afire, and then I'll speak a little. Okay. That was fun to do. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so back to the names on the wheel. I've gone, so I'll remove my own. The next monologue will be done by okay, Bill, you're up next. Which wheel? Bill, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Mail, please.
Okay. Okay, so Bill is going to perform I've got tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Awesome.
Did I not do that once before?
Did you? Maybe you did. Would you like to spin again?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll spin again since you've done that before.
I'm pretty sure I did it.
Okay. I've never done that. I don't think I no, it's the dagger one I haven't done before, and I'd like to, but the wheel decides. Oh!
I did not do this one.
Play the comedic part. So the porter in Macbeth. Let me change that. So you got the knock knock. Who's there? 1,
2, 3.
Comedic aspect of Macbeth. Okay. So have you found it, Bill, or?
Yeah, I just got there. Yes.
Okay. So whenever you're ready.
It's interesting. I never considered doing this. Here's a knocking indeed. If man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time. Have knockings now about you. Here you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never get quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought that to have let in some of all professions that go to the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. On and on. I pray you, remember the porter.
Yay. Awesome.
We did that show. We did that show in college, and the director, I thought, had a really great idea. The witches were various different parts throughout the play, and one of the witches played the porter, and it was really not comic but chilling. I thought it was a really cool idea.
Yeah, that sounds like when we saw Shakespeare in the Park, that the independent Shakespeare company that does it in Griffith Park every summer. About 5 years ago, we saw it there, and what you just said, Elizabeth, they did the same thing with the witches doubling in other parts, and it would be the review. I think they'd be in costumes where you couldn't tell, and then at the end of the scene, they would then unveil and reveal that the person you'd be seeing in that was actually one of the witches.
It's a cool idea. Did you happen to see, Mark?
Cool.
Mark, did you see the Titus Andronicus they did in the park? Like 3 years ago.
Oh no, I must have missed that. I wish.
My son was one of the guys baked into a pie.
Wow! It's like that play particularly. I always, and I'm interested in it, I always end up missing it. I missed the Zoom reading with Vincent and his group, and I missed the one that's referring to.
It was so funny because I can't stand gore at all, and I was terrified going to the first show. And then I saw it so many times, and I was like, "Oh, the geyser of blood jutting out of your neck went really far today." Like I got so into it. It was so sick.
Okay, so back to the wheel. There's 4 of us left to perform a monologue before we switch to scenes. The next monologue will be done by Maggie. You're up next.
Okay.
Which wheel do you want?
I think I'll take the girls.
Okay.
Like I said before, so I'm not as familiar with the canon, so I hope I get something new that I haven't known about. Oh, good.
Paulina from The Winter's Tale. What studied torments? I think this is condemning Leontes for his insane jealousy.
Right.
3, scene 2.
What are the words that you had there? Because I just go by monologue.
What studied? I think what studied torments are the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's let's see, and it's from The Winter's Tale, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll. There's often, yeah. Okay. All right, got it.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. What studied torments, tyrant, hast for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flaying, boiling in leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves the taste of thy most worst? Thy tyranny together working with thy jealousies, fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of mine. Oh, think what they have done and then run mad indeed, stark mad. For all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. Thou betray'st Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful. Nor 'twas much, thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor, to have him kill a king. Poor trespasses, more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be or none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire ere done't, nor is directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender, cleft the heart that could conceive a gross and foolish sire, blemished his gracious dam. This is not, no, laid to thy answer, but the last. O lords, when I have said cry woe. The queen, the sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance for it not dropped down yet.
Yay. Awesome.
Well, she's such a powerful character, and Elizabeth knows.
Yeah. Okay, so the 3 remaining players, next monologue will be okay, Paul. Which wheel?
I'm going to take the gender neutral.
Okay.
I'm gambling today.
Yeah. Okay, so Paul will be doing Dogberry. I love this one. I don't think I've ever gotten to do this one. I hope I spin it sometime soon. So not suspect my place.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Very, very into this. Let me know when you found it, and then I'll disappear from this.
Okay, 1 second here.
If you need me to send you a cue, I can call you an ass and then disappear from the.
Okay, you can call me an ass.
Okay, away! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and, which is more, an officer, and, which is more, a householder, and, which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in Messina, and one that knows the law. Go to, and a rich fellow enough. Go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
Oh, what a great part.
Oh, I love it.
I've never read that.
It's definitely a dream role of mine.
It's a good speech, isn't it?
And you know, the sad thing about Dogberry is the fact that the humor that he puts in with the malapropisms is something that 21st century audiences, they miss it because they'll say, oh, I don't understand that Shakespearean language and so forth. And they're missing the key joke here, the fact that what this idiot is saying isn't supposed to make any sense. The wrong word. It's supposed to be gibberish. He thinks he's saying something smart when he tries to use a big word and he uses a word that sounds similar that has a completely different meaning.
Suspect me.
Archie Bunker.
Suspect me.
Okay. Anyway, I should have reset the. So Sheila and Elizabeth are the 2 remaining people that haven't gone yet. And the next monologue will be Elizabeth. Which wheel?
I think gender neutral.
Okay. Okay, so Elizabeth will do. Jake, all the way to the page.
Oh my God. Okay, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Got it?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Okay, awesome. So Sheila is the only one that hasn't gone yet. You have a preference for which wheel to spin?
Oh, I'm so in awe of everything I've heard so far. Just thrill me. Give me something non-gender specific, and we'll see what I can do.
So we'll spin the gender-neutral wheel for Sheila.
And I want to thank everybody. These readings have been so amazing. I've been loving every second of it.
Yeah, this is so fun. Highlight of the week, always.
Oh,
this is interesting. The first time I spun the gender-neutral wheel and got a female monologue, it was awkward that I got this one, but now we can actually see a woman do this one, this sexist one talking about.
Starting with line 54, it says. Oh, let's see. Mine is not numbered the same way, so I'm having a little bit of a challenge. Yeah. Now, is this the 5-5 or is this something else?
It starts 5-5, but this is like halfway through the monologue. I always find it useful to just Google the first line and then it comes up usually.
Okay. Yeah, so even if you just put the word monologue and that, because there's a lot of places with just monologue.
Okay.
But anyway, you'll find it.
Go with the first line, but sometimes I'll put just the most famous line, like when I did the "How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child." That's actually the end of the monologue, but it's the famous line, so that's what I put so people know what we're talking about. Anyway.
Right.
All right. Boy, this is a good one. All right.
All right. You found it?
I got it. Yes.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Fie, fie, unknit that threatening, unkind brow, and dart not scornful glances from those eyes to wound thy lord, thy king, thy governor. It blots thy beauty as frost do bite the meads, confounds thy fame as whirlwinds shake fair buds, and in no sense is meet or amiable. A woman moved is like a fountain troubled, muddy, ill-seeming, thick, bereft of beauty, and while it is so, none so dry or thirsty will deign to sip or touch one drop of it. Thy husband is thy lord, thy life, thy keeper, thy head, thy sovereign, one that cares for thee and for thy maintenance commits his body to painful labor, both by sea and land, to watch the night in storms, the day in cold, whilst thou liest warm at home, secure and safe, and craves no other tribute at thy hands but thy love, fair looks, and true obedience. Too little payment for so great a debt. Such duty as the subject owes the prince, even such a woman oweth to her husband, and when she is froward, peevish, sullen, sour, and not obedient to his honest will, what is she but a foul, contending rebel, and graceless traitor to her loving lord? I am ashamed that women are so simple to offer war where they should kneel for peace, or seek for rule, supremacy, and sway when they are bound to serve, love, and obey. Why are our bodies so soft and weak and smooth, unapt to toil and trouble in the world, but that our soft conditions and our hearts should well agree with our external parts? Come, come, you froward and unable worms. My mind hath been as big as one of yours. My heart is great, my reason haply more, to bandy word for word and frown for frown. But now I see our lances are but straws. Our strengths are weak, our weakness past compare, that seeming to be most, which we indeed least are. Then veil your stomachs, for it is no boot, and place your hands below your husband's foot, in token of which duty, if he please, my hand is ready, may it do him ease.
Awesome. So good with everybody with their monologues. Let's now shift to two-person scenes. And the first, let's see, back to the first scene will be performed by Bill. And Bill will perform with Bill and Shelia will do the first scene.
Right.
Okay, so the two of them are going to do I think we did this one just last week. You guys want to spin again?
We did that last week?
Maybe not you, but
Paul and I did. Paul and I did.
You want to spin again?
Okay, so both actors. So since both actors were different last time, we could do it again with a different interpretation, or we could spin again. It's up to you.
I'd rather spin again because I don't know the play.
Sure, we'll spin again.
Okay, we'll spin again. All's well that ends well. Bertram and Diana is where he's hitting on the girl. I think hitting on the girl he does like rather than the wife he was forced to marry that he can't stand. Bertram and Diana for Act 4, Scene 2. So
all inclusive.
yeah.
Yes.
Put the
so this will be the whole scene.
I'm not. Let me.
Yeah, it's a relatively short scene, nice and simple.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys have found it. You know where to start and everything. Okay.
I'm ready.
So
Yes, ready.
Whenever you're ready, you two can.
All right. They told me your name was Fontibel.
No, good Lord. Diana.
Titled goddess and worth it with addition. But, fair soul, in your fine frame hath love no quality? If quick fire of youth light not your mind, you are no maiden, but a monument. When you are dead, you should be such a one as you are now, for you are cold and stem, and now you should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty, such, my lord, as you owe to your wife.
No more of that. I prithee, do not strive against my vows. I was compelled to her. But I love thee, my love's own sweet constraint, and will forever do thee all rights of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us with our barrenness.
How have I sworn?
'Tis not the many oaths that make the truth, but the plain single vow that is vowed true. What is not holy that we swear not by, but take the highest to witness? Then pray you tell me, if I should swear by God's great attributes, I loved you dearly, would you believe my oaths when I did love you ill? This has no holding to swear by him whom I protest to love, that I will work against him. Therefore, your oaths are words and poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Change it. Change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and my integrity ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with. Stand no more off, but give thyself unto my sick desires, who then recover, say thou art mine, and ever my love as it begins shall so persever.
I see that men make ropes in such a scar that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor longing to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose.
Mine honors such a ring. My chastity's the jewel of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose. Thus, your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring, my house, my honor, yea, my life be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my chamber window. I'll order take my mother shall not hear. Now, will I charge you in the band of truth, when you have conquered my yet maiden bed, remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong, and you shall know them when back again this ring shall be delivered. And on your finger in the night I'll put another ring, that which in time proceeds may token to the future our past deeds. Adieu till then. Fail not. You have won a wife of me, though there my hope be done.
A heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
For which live long to thank both heaven and me. You may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo, and if she sat in his heart, she says all men have the like oaths. He has sworn to marry me when his wife's dead, Therefore I'll lie with him when I am buried. Since Frenchmen are so braid, marry that I will. I live and die a maid. Only in this disguise I think no sin to cozen him that would unjustly win.
Okay. And then the trick they play with that ring is the ultimate.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, tricks with rings, of course. That's the other thing. The people that spew the ridiculous conspiracy theories about how Shakespeare didn't really write his own stuff. I mean, how do they explain? I mean, the bad. How do they explain how if he didn't, why he uses the same plot devices? So he used that ring thing so many times in so many of his plays. I know. I'm not bad-mouthing him because we love Shakespeare, but that's another thing that illustrates. If you think that it was really a bunch of people, how did a bunch of people all come up with that similarities like that? That was an interesting use of the ring. What in that one, different variation of something he does to death. Okay, so back to the wheel. The next two players to do a scene will be. Okay, myself and I will perform with I don't know. Maggie. Last second we were trying to see if one of us it was going to be. Okay, so myself and Maggie are going to do hello, the murder scene. This is awesome.
Who are you going to play? No, I'm kidding.
This was a good script for both of us. We've done this scene. We'll take it from the top. I'll get a brief monologue myself with it is the cause, but we can build if you don't. We'll build up to my murdering you.
Oh, it's quite long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Othello. Have you found it? We'll take
Yeah.
it. All right. It is the cause. It is the cause, my soul. Let me not name it to you, you chaste stars. It is the cause. Yet I'll not shed her blood, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow and smooth as monumental alabaster. Yet she must die, else she'll betray more men. Put out the light, and then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister, I can again thy former light restore. Should I repent me, but once put out thy light, thou cunningst pattern of excelling nature, I know not where is that Promethean heat that can thy light resume. When I have plucked the rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It must needs wither. I'll smell it on a tree. Balmy breath, that dost almost persuade justice to break her sword. Once more, one more. Be thus when thou art dead, and I will kill thee and love thee after. One more, and this the last. So sweet was ne'er so afraid. I must weep, but they are cruel tears. 'Tis sorrow's heavenly, it strikes where it doth love. She wakes.
Who's there? Othello?
Aye, Desdemona.
Will you come to bed, my lord?
Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona?
Aye, my lord.
If you bethink yourself of any crime unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, solicit for it straight.
Alas, my lord, what do you mean by that?
Well, do it, and be brief. I will walk by. I would not kill thy unprepared spirit. No, heaven forfend, I would not kill thy soul.
Talk you of killing?
Aye, I do.
Then heaven have mercy on me.
Amen. With all my heart.
If you say so, I hope you will not kill me. And yet I fear you. For you are fatal then when your eyes roll so. Why I should fear I know not, since guiltiness I know not. But yet I fear.
Think on thy sins.
They are loves I bear to you.
Aye, and for that thou diest.
That death's unnatural that kills for loving. Alas, why gnaw you so your nether lip? Some bloody passion shakes your very frame. These are portents. But yet I hope they do not point on me.
Peace and be still.
I will so. What's the matter?
That handkerchief, which I so loved I gave thee, thou gavest to Cassio.
No, by my life and soul, send for the man and ask him.
Sweet soul, take heed of perjury. Thou art on thy deathbed.
Aye, but not yet to die.
Yes, presently. Therefore confess thee freely of thy sin, for to deny each article with oath cannot remove nor choke the strong conception that I do groan withal. Thou art to die.
Then, Lord, have mercy on me.
I say amen.
And have you mercy too. I never did offend you in my life. Never loved Cassio with such general warranty of heaven as I might love. I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw my handkerchief in his hand. O perjured woman, thou dost stone my heart, and markest me call what I intend to do a murder, which I thought a sacrifice. I saw the handkerchief.
He found it then. I never gave it him. Send for him hither. Let him confess a truth.
He hath confessed.
What, my lord?
That he hath used thee.
How? Unlawfully?
Aye.
He will not say so.
No. His mouth is stopped. Honest Iago hath ta'en order for it.
Oh, my fear interprets. What, is he dead?
Had all his hairs been lies, my great revenge had stomach for them all.
Alas, he is betrayed and I undone.
Out, strumpet! Weepst thou for him to my face?
Oh, banish me, my lord, but kill me not.
Down, strumpet!
Kill me tomorrow. Let me live tonight.
Nay, if you strive.
But half an hour.
Being done, there is no pause.
But while I say one prayer.
It is too late.
That was fantastic.
Dang, man. And all our years together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that was intense to get into. But it was really, yeah, that was an amazing scene to get to do. So the remaining let's see, Paul and Elizabeth are the remaining players. So let's spin for them. So Paul and Elizabeth will do. Taming of the Shrew. Petruchia and Katerina. Have either of you done this one before? I know that we've done this scene before, but if both of the actors are ones that haven't done it before, we can do it again.
I don't
Paul, you okay? Mm-hmm.
Do you
I think
Elizabeth?
maybe I did it with you, Mark, but I'm fine with doing it again.
Okay, good. So you did it with me. We'll see you trying the same scene with a different partner.
I thought it was going to be Romeo and Juliet. It was very close.
Yeah, it almost landed on that on Romeo on the balcony scene, but
Okay.
And is
so have you both found it?
I found the scene that where does it begin in the scene?
Paul, do you want to start with the speech? Where is it?
What's the words?
I will attend her here. It's before the scene starts. You could do the speech if you want to. I will attend her here and woo her with some spirit when she comes.
And it's Act 2, Scene 1.
I believe so.
Yes. Like halfway, 3/4 of the way through it.
I don't find attend her.
I will attend her here and woo her with some spirit when she comes.
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
You found it? I was looking. Okay, so whenever
you want me to begin with, I pray you do.
Well, it's after, then they leave, and then you can start with, I will attend her here, like you're waiting for me to come in. I think it's a nice jumping off point into the scene.
Okay, so whenever the two of you are ready.
Okay.
I will attend her here and woo her with some spirit when she comes. Say that she rails, why then I'll tell her plain she sings as sweetly as a nightingale. Say that she frown, I'll say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. Say she be mute and will not speak a word, then I'll commend her volubility. And say she uttereth piercing eloquence, if she do bid me pack, I'll give her thanks as though she bid me stay by her a week. If she deny to wed, I'll crave the day when I shall ask the banns, and when be married. But here she comes, and now Petruchio, speak. Good morrow, Kate. That's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard, but something hard of hearing? They call me Katharina that do talk of me.
You lie, in faith, for you are called Plain Kate, and Bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation. Hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of, and thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs, myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved! In good time, let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first, you were immovable.
Why, what's a movable?
A joined stool.
Oh, thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Well, women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you, if me you mean.
Oh, alas, good Kate, I will not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Should be, should buzz.
Well ta'en and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee?
Aye, for a turtle, as he takes a buzzard.
Come, you wasp. I' faith, you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
Oh, my remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find it where it lies.
Oh, who knows not where a wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What? With my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate. I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
So may you lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman, and if no gentleman, why then no arms.
A herald, Kate? Oh, put me in thy books.
What is your crest, a coxcomb?
A combless cock, so Kate will be my hen.
No cock of mine, you crow too like a craven.
Nay, come, Kate, come. Must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Here's no crab, and therefore look not sour.
There is.
Well, then show it me.
Had I a glass, I would.
What? You mean my face?
Well aimed of such a young one.
Now, by St. George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Nay, hear you, Kate. In sooth, you scape not so.
I chafe you if I tarry. Let me go.
No, not a whit. I find you passing gentle. Was told me you were rough and coy and sullen. And now I find report a very liar. For thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous, but slow in speech, yet sweet as springtime flowers. Thou canst not frown, thou canst not look askance, nor bite the lip as angry wenches will, nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in talk. But thou with mildness entertainst thy wooers, with gentle conference, soft and affable. Why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Oh, slanderous world! Kate, like the hazel twig, is straight and slender, and as brown in hue as hazelnuts, and sweeter than the kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk. Oh, thou dost not halt.
Go, fool, and whom thou keepst command.
Did ever Dian so become a grove as Kate this chamber with her princely gait? Oh, be thou Dian, and let her be Kate, and then let Kate be chaste and Dian sportful.
Where did you study all this goodly speech?
It is extempore, from my mother wit.
A witty mother, witless else her son.
Am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Marry, I mean, so I mean, sweet Kate, in thy bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus, in plain terms, your father has consented that you shall be my wife. Your dowry agreed on, and will you, nill you, I will marry you. Now, Kate, I am a husband for your turn, for by this light, whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well. Thou must be married to no man but me, and for I am born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate conformable as other household Kates. Here comes your father. Never make denial. I must and will have Catherine to my wife.
Hey, awesome. So we had a good round this week.
Perfect timing.
Unfortunately, we'll have a week off next week, but we'll
I have to run.
Okay. Bye, Elizabeth. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. And the people watching, if you're interested in Troilus and Cressida, contact Sheila about that. And Sheila, if you don't mind, I'll put so that they know if the people are interested, I can put your email address down in the description for the video, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
okay, so I'll do that. So people are interested in Troilus and Cressida. I can't stream that, but contact Sheila about that. And I'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.